So we're here with Robocop, I mean Mr. T. So, first time for you in Latin America?
It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
How are you finding it?
I find it incredible. I really like the place. It's an adventure, right? Never been here before. Find the people very friendly. What I find a bit hard, of course, is the language barrier. But
Very friendly.
very friendly. I'm 44 years old.
You're 44?
44, yeah.
You look so youthful.
It must be that. What's the stinky fish they put under the ground? Surströmming. What's the fish that goes on the ground and rots, and they put the poison on it? And it smells really bad.
I can't remember.
Is that the secret of life? Maybe.
Maybe.
Or it could be Botox.
No,
but
but
your Botox is working better than mine, apparently.
The Botox, girl in the nightclub yesterday, she said, you are using Botox. And I said, no. But I said, but I'm going to do plastic surgery. She said, what? And I said, I need a reduction.
Yeah, very nice.
I like it.
The old chestnut, So, 44 years old, from Norway. You're a professional man. I think you mentioned your job.
Yeah, I'm
medical doctor. We've actually worked together before. We've known each other for a while. But you've obviously come over to this to this particular event here, and you're on the Edge program as well. So what was the thinking behind that? Because you're a decent-looking guy. You're in shape. You're well dressed. You've got a good job. I mean, you're ticking all of the boxes. So what is it that you found challenging with dating to this point?
I find it challenging to approach women because that's not something I would do like in daytime. If I were ever do it back home, I'd do it, a couple of drinks. You go during evening time, and then it's all gaming. But then you're drunk. It's not really gaming, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't. Yeah.
I mean, we don't need to go too much into your personal history. I know you've had some relationships and things like that. But I mean, what about the dating apps? Do you not find the dating apps to be a good solution for you?
No, absolutely not. I find it like I realize it's like 1% of the male are the one who is swiped on the right.
Yeah.
Not having much luck there. Right?
Yeah.
Well, the other thing, just to interlude as well, we were having this conversation today when we're walking around, but I was asking you because obviously you're a tall, you've got a high SMV, right? A tall, good-looking guy. You know, you look like a model. You're dressed very well.
And he's a doctor, for God's sake. I mean, any
well,
lady...
no, can't say the profession.
We can.
Of course.
Oh, okay. And he's, very well-dressed guy, very eloquently spoken. You've got a lot of value, but you said, you absolutely hate dating Norwegian women because even a hot 25-year-old has slept with 50 guys, right?
Yeah.
It's like, how on earth? We're of the same kind of old school masculinity mindset where we think it is different, right?
Yeah.
You shouldn't. As a woman, if you sleep with 100 dudes, it's going to fuck you up for long-term relationships, right?
Yeah.
And the culture is so pro-forward thinking. I've got no issue with that. I'm just not going to go to Norway and date. But it must be really hard being a man who wants to meet a kind of a more traditional, let's say, former Soviet Union kind of girl who values commitment and a low body count, right? But it must be virtually impossible.
That's true.
Hence why you don't really like dating in Norway, right?
I've not given up on Western women, but I realized if you want to have a decent life there, you have to accept that the girl is going to have probably
a very promiscuous past.
Higher body count even than the men. These times.
Yeah, because the men are where did all the Vikings go? The men are all pussy. So it's the women who have triple-digit body counts. The men can't pull a muscle.
Yeah, man.
It's it's gone wild.
But I mean, given if there is promiscuity,
gin and tonic pit
then it's kind of interesting that you still. I think it's ultimately, maybe I'm putting words in your mouth here. I think ultimately guys find the idea of going and approaching somebody and starting a conversation, particularly in 2024, to be quite a challenging thing to do. And even somebody like yourself, who on the surface, on paper, is ticking a lot of the boxes, you need to, you just need some help in that area, right?
Definitely need help.
And I mean, my observation about you, and tell me if you agree or you don't agree, I think that you are, you're a great guy, you're a lot of fun to be with, but I think that you could come across as being quite serious at the beginning.
Yeah.
And we've said, because as I said, we worked together before,
yeah.
We sort of said then, it's sort of like, it's the initial stage, this playfulness, this being fun and drawing that side of it out.
Yeah.
And that flirtatiousness is so important.
Pleasure to have you here, man. Last time we saw you was obviously Warsaw.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
So, and that's the bit that you needed help with. And I think just as an interlude, actually, for any guys who are watching this and they say, well, if you're a good-looking dude and you earn a certain amount of money and you're a professional, then it's no problem. you still need to have that X factor, don't you?
Definitely,
You
yeah.
need to have that edge.
Need to have an edge. And the thing is, you can watch thousands of YouTube videos, but you have to do this in real life. That's
Yeah.
why I contacted James and Tusk, James Tusk and Troy Francis, the best in the field, no doubt.
Well, what about David, who you've been running a train with? How does he rank? Because he is what I like about him, and we only work we work with a very small amount of guys that we trust with this, and there's a couple of new trainers on this bootcamp. But David is great because he's a really good example of a guy who's literally out of the game for 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, horror divorce story.
Yeah.
And then he literally learned to banter and tease, and he's a great example of a guy
You get zeroed out, right?
zero outcome independent, and just flirts with the world and banters with the world.
Yeah.
So he's, massive respect to him as well, and obviously you had a lot of fun with him and his night game last night.
Yeah, excellent coach as well. Yeah, David. And Joe as well, right?
Joe's very good.
Yeah,
You spent some time with Joe.
Yeah.
That's good.
The team is very good, hand-picked for a reason, right?
Well, I think. Thank you so much. I think one of the things is, and obviously this is more we want to focus on you as not a huge advert for us as such, although sign up for this bootcamp. But the thing is that the reason that we have different guys and different sort of personalities is because I think it's really useful for students to see how it works for different people. Because what I do is going to be slightly different to what say James does, and maybe what David does is going to be different again. And you can learn little bits and pieces from different people. Slightly different things are going to work slightly, because everybody's got a different personality, right? Or a slightly different personality. So you might resonate more with me, or you might resonate more with David or Joe or whatever, and you think, right, I could really take something, but then you could take a little bit from one of the other guys as well and make it your own.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think the model that we have, I think is really, really helpful.
Yeah.
And how have you found approaching in? Because last time we saw you, me and Troy, was obviously in Warsaw.
Yeah, that's true.
So good place, lots of hot girls, obviously very feminine women. How do you find Bogota in comparison to Warsaw?
Easier to approach here. I would say the women are more sexual here.
Yes.
They're more, and they, you can be your natural self as a being masculine, and it's a plus point. You don't have to hide your dick as you have to do in Europe.
And even somewhere like Warsaw, and I mean, this is probably quite well documented now, but I mean, Warsaw is sort of Eastern Europe, but I mean, it is very westernized now, isn't it? Really?
Yes, yeah.
I mean, in 10 years' time, it's going to be the new London, literally.
Yeah.
Because you see, when we first went to Warsaw 10 years ago, it was very like the former Soviet Union, but now, because it's become the digital nomad capital, because it's become more westernized, in 10 years, unfortunately, it's going to pass the dark side, and it's going to be end of that chapter.
Yeah.
It's like a slow shadow creeping across the map, and then we have to move further east in summertime.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like...
But the other key thing about this is, and people will say, well, okay, so you go to somewhere like Colombia, maybe that's a little bit easier because they like you because you're a shiny object, which is, there's some truth in that, but the whole purpose of this is whatever happens here, great, but also to get you into as many interactions as possible.
Yeah.
And practice and us to feed back. So then when you go back to Norway, which, arguably a bit harder, a different kind of a social setup there, it's going to be easier because you've got that reference experience, and on top of that, you've got, the tweaks and the improvements and the adjustments that we made.
Yeah, because I realized this is just like exercising. If you don't exercise, your muscle just go weaker, and you have to keep approaching. And
100%. 100%.
It's interesting because I mean, James, I don't know if you see this, but you get guys who are critical and they'll say, well, you're teaching, you're going to these places where maybe it's easier, or you're teaching guys in these places where maybe it's easier. But the reality is, what we need to do is to get you into interactions. And if we go to New York City, for example, and look, New York City is also a great place to train, but if we go to somewhere where it's harder, and then you go in and you approach 15 women and you get blown out 14 times, or you have very brief conversations 14 times, that's not really very valuable. I mean, it's helpful in terms of rejection handling. But the great thing about here is you can get into longer conversations, so we can critique it. You get more experience.
Yeah, of course.
And then from that, then the muscle memory is revitalized. And then when you go back, and you get this halo effect when you go back to the West.
Yeah, and that's what I'm gonna like. That's the giveaway of this edge course. Keep me it's gonna be a couple of days of this intensive training, and then I'm just gonna keep doing this, right?
So you're on the online Edge course as well. So we have the online course, and then we have this, which is the kind of the live practical bootcamp element of it. But I mean, what would you say? We're several weeks now into the Edge course. I mean, what would you say you've learned so far? What sort of value is it bringing to you, would you say?
It brings a lot of value, because now it's like you're in a kind of a tribe with a couple of men. We switch notes.
Yes.
We learn from experience. That's been pretty good, right? Your guys are pretty honest with each other, and that's been pretty good, right?
Yeah.
And you also put us accountable for what we do, right? And that's a good thing to do, because if a man never get guidance, what we are like follow the easiest pathway, then we won't do it, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes, even if you're older or anything, high IQ, whatever, you need guidance, and especially in this field.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So what do you feel the key areas you need to work on, moving forward?
Yeah. Being less robotic.
Being less like Robocop.
Yeah.
You seem more
No, you seem a lot more chilled than Warsaw, to be honest.
I wonder why.
Well, no, actually, he's been on the Troy Francis, but actually, no, he's been on the straight and narrow. But I think it's just,
I think more about last night.
Oh, okay. So yeah, what happened last night? Maybe tell.
Do you want to?
You don't need to go into gory detail.
No.
You went out to do some night game with one of the trainers, David.
One night, I did night game with one of the trainer, and we got to know a couple of senoritas here.
You got to know them.
Yeah, got to know them.
Very well.
Very well. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, that's great. That's amazing. It's great. You come somewhere like this and things happen, and that's fantastic, brilliant. Positive experience. Yeah. But also, of course, as I say, it's also about what you take back with you.
Yeah.
And working through these things and seeing the way that, say, somebody like David, who's another, the trainer we mentioned before, how he operates in a nighttime scenario.
Yeah.
No doubt, there's going to be things there that you can take back with you, and implement when you go back.
100%. He gave me so many tips yesterday on how, because night game and day game, there are big differences in how to behave. Right.
They are, but I think the key nuance for you that underlines both is just being more social and taking a leaf out of David's work and just bantering and interacting and testing for interest and flirting more with everyone around you.
Yeah.
Always just being social, because you're self-confessed, naturally you're an introvert, and the way your life is set up in Norway is sometimes you have to go to very remote places where the only thing to say hello to is like a seal on the beach, right? And I'm hoping you're not putting anything into the blowhole. Do seals have blowholes? Anyway, regardless, no blowhole action of any sort, dolphin, seal or any other mammal. But the problem you have is obviously going back to Norway, your lifestyle is set up to not be social.
Yeah.
So it's especially important when you come out to these kind of trips and you're here for another week, that you go overcompensate massively with being social, so then the residual drop-off is very slow. It's a bit like stopping going to the gym after 2 years. It will still take you about 8 months to lose a muscle memory. Yeah. So you want to go, now onwards, you want to just absolutely blast the socialising. And you've got it in you, man. Like, honestly, aesthetically, and in terms of objective value, regardless of how you see yourself, your aesthetic SMV is actually very, very high. You're a well-dressed dude, you're good looking, you've got your shit together, you've got money, you're well-spoken, you've got so many value adds, but it's how you, game is how you present that package. As Troy always says, it's the movie you screen. How do you screen that movie? Yeah. Do you screen that movie as this kind of guy that's being timid and not really confident? Yeah. Because that shows the girl what you think about yourself. It's state of mind, it's all about how you perceive yourself. It's how the woman is going to perceive you. Yeah. So we all start from the position of quite low self-esteem with this stuff and low confidence, but you have to almost realise how much value you have, and then start acting in accordance with that. Handsome guy game, which is chilled, relaxed, charismatic, like the CEO frame, be warm and friendly with everyone, but realise that you don't need to prove anything to the women, but you still have to be social. You can't be this like aloof, arrogant, weird guy, right?
Because that's the other mistake that guys, particularly like good-looking guys, might make. Where they
including me back in the day. I thought I just wasn't very social, so I thought I'll just stand here like looking kind of cool, and then I'm going to get laid like a rock star. It didn't happen. I had to go and be social, right?
So you have to go and, it's like any product. You have to go and market the product. You have to take the product to market and showcase it in the best possible way. And really, that's kind of what game is how do you showcase, it's your marketing, how do you showcase the product? And you've got a great product, but the marketing was maybe not as good as it could have been before you started working with us. So that's the bit that we're fixing. Because, we don't want to keep blowing smoke up your butt, but as James said, very high SMV.
There's not much really in terms of SMV you're lacking. The only thing you're lacking is really the edge. the game element, the attitude, the X factor.
Because he was saying, because you were asking me about like fashion advice and stuff like that. And I'm happy to, obviously we can talk about that. Happy to, that is something we offer. But I mean, the reality is you are actually very well dressed. I mean, you're probably one of the best well dressed people on this boot camp.
You're better dressed than me and Troy put together. And there's no one else on the boot camp. You wear Hugo Boss suits for fuck's sake. I mean, that for me, that's the pinnacle.
So. It's on every metric really you want to. But once again, people watching this who think, wow, just be a decent looking dude and earn a bit of money and that's job done.
Yeah.
It's not the case.
No.
You need to bring this extra thing to the party, which is what we're calling edge. You might call it charisma. You might call it whatever, right?
It's kind of this devil-may-care lover frame and zero fucks given to life. It's basically a tactical cultivation of dark triad traits in dating.
Yeah.
And it's showing that you just basically think you're a bบof a. You think you're better than everyone else, but when it comes to short-term dating with women, it's very effective. And for you, the easy thing for you to do is because you've just got, you've done well in life, but also we're just born looking a certain way. It's such a waste if you don't cultivate this attitude, which is a learnable skill, because you've got all the other attributes there. Yeah. So it's not like some of the other guys in the boot camp who are they're a bit socially awkward and they're broke and they're not very well dressed and they're not particularly good looking. They've got so much to change. Yeah. You've got everything there apart from just this attitude adjustment of this devil-may-care. Yeah. We always talk about it, Daniel Craig's James Bond, 70% good, 30% bad, but just this calm, amuse mastery, unfuck-withable vibe to life. And just enjoys life, flirts with the world, completely masculine, grounded energy. Yeah. We can cultivate that within you, but it's just going to take that conscious awareness of that and then deliberate practice.
That's a really key point. Like intellectually understanding the fact that you need to do it is the first thing which we're instilling in you and the other guys, and then it's the consistent practice. But I shared a couple of videos in the group earlier about a couple of articles from Chateau Artiste about delusional self-confidence. Now in your case it's not really delusional, but it's better to go into a social situation or a social interaction thinking you're better than you are. Yeah. Like if you walk in there, and Chateau Artiste's a great article where he says, I've seen guys who are pretty mid, really, walk in as though they're, as though they own the place. Yeah. And women buy into it, and other people buy into it. It's amazing, and I've seen exactly that in my own life. I mean, my dating life completely changed. Yeah. When I started to do that, because before I'd sit in the corner like, oh, I'm not, I don't like how I look, blah blah blah, and then due to a combination of various different substances, including mainly alcohol and some other stuff, I completely flipped it on his head. I was like, no, stop that. I'm going to act like I'm the fucking boss.
Act as if. That's the key principle, right?
And what was amazing was that people started to react to me differently. Not every woman's going to be, obviously you're not going to appeal to every single woman on the planet, but a lot of people are going to buy into that. They're going to think the way that he's behaving, there must be something about him, because otherwise how would he have balls to be like that? Yeah. And that's the really important thing.
How, just without being too vulnerable, but it's obviously you're an emotionally intelligent guy, and one of the things I respect about you is you're quite authentic, and you kind of wear your heart on your sleeve, and you don't hide anything. Where do you think, because again, a woman looking at you is going to be like, fuck, you look like the complete package. Where do you think any elements of, not self-loathing, but kind of not valuing yourself as a prospect in the sexual market comes from? Is it cultural upbringing because your heritage is Indian? Yeah. Or is it more just you had low self-esteem as a kid, maybe you got bullied? Is there anything like, or is it a combination of things?
Yeah, combination of things. I grew up with 3 siblings. I had an older sister and she...
Where were you in the sibling order?
I'm one older brother, one younger brother.
So you're in the middle?
Middle.
No, and the sister is younger?
No, she's the oldest one.
Okay.
So she did a lot of putting people down.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
All 3 of the brothers.
Just her personality?
Personality was like that.
Was she jealous of them?
Yeah. How much older was she? Quite a bit older? Or?
3 years older than me. She was pretty pampered, anything we kids and the boys did, she wanted to do better, And
right. That's an interesting dynamic, okay.
Yeah.
So that kind of, because they always talk about the most kind of emotional damage you take on is between the age of 6 to 9 years old. Yeah. So it can be, and it doesn't matter it can be something very traumatic, or it can be seemingly to someone else not traumatic stuff, but for you, because life is a single person game, that's traumatic for you, right?
Yeah.
And if you're naturally quite sensitive, then, okay.
Well, and also as well, when you're that age, other people's criticisms of you assume greater importance, because you haven't learned you haven't got to know yourself yet. You haven't got to know how the world operates. Yeah. And you're in a probably fairly small family environment, and somebody's there criticising you the whole time. You kind of think, well, they must be right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like exactly. Then later, years later you might look back and think, well, hang on a minute, that was a bit unfair, but you don't have any context at that point, do you?
Yeah. And later, you know, as the years passed, I got to know, oh, okay, shit, man, she has a diagnosis, right? And it got up
of what?
A diagnosis of bipolar.
Ah, okay, so she's up and down.
What's your relationship? I mean, again, don't have to overshare, but what's your relationship like now?
No, it's just happy birthday and like this. I don't have much with her.
And how do you, compared to kind of that era, how do you feel about yourself now? Is it improving, or is it still some work to be done? How you see yourself?
Yeah, and I have let it go, but I think that was the impact which impacted it made me have my self-limiting beliefs.
Yes.
By that, but I'm trying to improve on that, right?
Yeah, that's interesting, man. It's interesting. I mean, you know, and I don't know what you've done in terms of other therapy and stuff like that. I mean, people criticise therapy and the mandatory and stuff. I mean, I've done some for different things that I had, and it did help me.
I think it's underrated.
Well, what I found was that, so I did some therapy for a number of years when I was also getting into the game, and it didn't improve my game, but what it did do is it took a weight off me that I was sort of conscious of. Yeah. And so sometimes I'd be out in the bar, you know, like in the club or something, and I'd be talking to some girls, and I'd feel this kind of weight in the back of my head. And obviously, that's the opposite of what you want to have in those situations. I did some therapy for a couple of years with this guy. I'd just go and talk to him once a week, whatever. And it did kind of lift a lot of that stuff away. So then your vibe gets better. Do you know what I mean? So obviously, working with us as dating coaches, that's a great thing. But sometimes if there's other things there as well, you know, they can be addressed separately. You know? Yeah,
I've done some therapy, but it was just like not helping much.
It's not for everyone. I'm just saying that. Well, I suppose it's about the leveling up piece, isn't it? You can level up in every aspect of your life, and if therapy could be an aspect of that, because you think, well, my vibe is not as good as it could be because I'm weighed down by stuff that's happened. Yeah. That's also something to address. But in the same way that you might go to the gym, or you might, you try to eat better, or it's just another one of these sort of things that's external to the game, but it does impact on how you come across.
Yeah, that's exactly
well, it
true.
really is. I mean, how you see yourself.
Yeah.
Is everything, and we've seen guys who have very little SMV. Yeah. You know, they're not good looking, they're not well dressed, they don't have much money, but they just have this crazy self-belief about themselves, and they get laid like rock stars. Yeah. So it really is. The attitude is so important. This X factor, this edge we talk about is so important.
It really is, because I mean, when I think back to some of the earlier days in Manchester, I mean, objectively, my SMV was not high. Really. I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't. You wouldn't say it was high. You know, I wasn't in great shape. I didn't have money. I wasn't. Everything was. I just developed this crazy, deluded sense of my own kind of, this almost sense of grandiosity.
Tactical narcissism. Really.
Yeah, and it worked. And the dating life that I was having was better than most other people around me. Ridiculous, but
it's all about how you see yourself.
Yeah.
State of mind.
Yeah.
I think therapy is important, not because I actually believe in digging up the past relentlessly, but as a guy who ruminates a lot in my own head, simply talking it through with someone and getting my own words out of my head helps. Yeah. But you can do that even with us, or like with a friend, right? And I think that's why women typically are a lot more emotionally healthy, because they discuss this shit. Yeah. Whereas as men, we do this like kind of splendid isolation, bottle it up. Yeah. We think we're just like, we can't be vulnerable, but it's bollocks. Yeah. It's bollocks, right?
And actually now, if there's sort of online therapy and stuff you can do as well. Well, you just need to listen to his voice and it makes you feel better, doesn't it? But that's all that happened to me. I mean, I went to this.
Book a call on the link below so we can help you map out exactly what you want in your dating life, the strategy, the vision, and we can help you get from A to B as quickly as possible, depending on what you want. That's the key thing. We've been doing this for 10 years. We've worked with thousands of dudes. We can save you your most valuable assets, which are your time, your attention, and your money, and get you from A to B as fast as possible. So book a free call, a free dating strategy consultation with us below.
Hey guys, this is Troy Francis, and I'm joined by Mr. T.
Yes.
Very favoured client of us, and we're here in Bogota, Colombia, and this is the first session that we're going to be doing training today in Bogota. We have worked together before, actually, haven't we? We worked together in Warsaw a little while back.
Yeah, 2 months ago. Had a very good experience, and I wanted to work with you again.
But we're here now in Bogota, Colombia, which is a very different kettle of fish. Obviously, very different kinds of women here. And we're going to be going out. We're going to be practicing social skills. We're going to be getting Taryn into lots of nice interactions, and we're going to be just basically seeing how you do, easing you into it probably this first session, just sort of saying hello, maybe just sort of getting into it slowly, and just being super social, flirting with the world, like David was saying before. You excited for this one? You've not been here before, have you?
No, it's the first time. Yeah? First time in Latin America.
Amazing. So it's going to be a big, good session, man. So let's go and see what the vibe is out in Bogota, Colombia.
Just notice you look so hot. I wanted to know what your name is.
No, I speak in English.
Oh, you don't?
Okay, so she said she didn't speak English, right?
No, and she turned her head almost the moment I started to speak with her.
Fine, okay. So is there anything you feel like you could have done better in that approach, or?
The stop wasn't powerful enough.
Yeah.
It was more like comment to her like, oh, hi.
Yeah.
Like, I could have said like, just a moment, and then looked her in the eyes, kept the gaze, and then paused, and then see her reaction.
I think giving, obviously sometimes it's difficult because of the way the layout is, but I think giving her that little bit more space, and then coming, but just sort of a little bit more space between the two of you, and the strong eye contact can be really powerful.
Because this was a little bit too close.
It was slightly, and also you came in slightly too quickly. Doesn't mean the outcome would necessarily have changed, because you know what these things are like. I mean, some women are going to be receptive and some aren't, but I think little things like that hopefully will tweak as we go on.
Yeah. Hello, could I just stop you for a second?
So that one, I think that was a quick blowout. Look, this is just part of the course with this stuff, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
I mean, like, not every woman that you stop is going to be receptive. However, what about that lovely lady over there?
She's talking to a dude.
She's talking to a dude?
Yeah. That's the one standing there, right?
All right, yeah, all right. Abandoned ship.
Oh, excuse me. Could I just ask you one question?
Yes.
This is my first time in Bogota. I'm trying to find a nice gym.
Oh, I don't know, because I don't live near here.
Oh, you don't?
So I can provide that information for you, sorry.
All right, I see.
So how did it go with that one just then?
Yeah, I did stop her, and I kept a little bit distance.
Yeah.
And I raised my voice. I said 1 minute, and she stopped, and she said, "How can I help you?" And I said,
"Well."
Yeah. I was like wondering if I've never been to Bogota, and I'm going to a gym. Is there any gym you recommend?
Yeah.
And I was thinking, oh, fuck, that was a bad opener. And then she said, "Oh, I'm really not from here."
Okay.
And then she said, and she just kept on going.
Fine. Okay. All right. So what you might want to do, I mean, it is probably if you're going to go indirect, you want to keep it kind of short and sweet. So rather than saying, "Oh, is there a particular gym around here that I would recommend?" I would be like, "Hey, listen, I'm new in town, looking for a cool restaurant. Can you recommend somewhere? Looking for a really good bar." Keep it short and sweet and see what they say. If she then says, "Well, I'm actually not from here myself," but like, "Oh yeah, do you know what? You've got a vibe. It looks like you're not Bogota. I'm guessing you're from maybe Medellin."
Yeah.
You could say, or I think maybe you're not even Colombian. Maybe you're Peruvian.
Yeah.
And see what she says. Now then she might then say, "Well, no, actually I'm from Cali." And like, "Oh, Cali, really? That's interesting. My friend actually was just in Cali, and he told me it's the capital of salsa. Do you like salsa? You seem like a girl who likes to dance, who likes to stage show." So you need to find ways to draw out the conversation.
Yeah.
Okay. Regardless of what they give you, whatever stimuli they give you, you got to take that and you got to kind of spin gold out of it.
And if she has a body language that you just want to go, you still say like, "Hey,"
So no. Okay. So that's it. That's the exception. If you're trying to interact with somebody and they're sort of like they're kind of like doing this and everything, in the end you're probably just going to let it go. What I'm saying is more generally, if they seem somewhat receptive, but they haven't given you much to work on, then it's your job to sort of use whatever you've got really to try and create a conversation. It's like David was saying earlier. Ultimately, what we're trying to do is create vibe with these girls. The first thing that you hit on, the first topic that you hit on, like, "Oh, where's a local gym?" That may not be the thing. But the second thing, like Cali or salsa dancing or whatever, that could be the thing that you guys can end up vibing on. So you've got to look for that thing, but when they are receptive to it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
That makes sense.
So,
cool. Wow, can I ask you for, do you know any cool bars in Bogota? This is my second day here.
Well,
I think you are from Bogota yourself, right?
yeah, well, all 93 is surrounded by bars.
Yeah.
You can just walk on.
Because this place is kind of a tourist place. I see many foreigners go. I want to like meet local women here.
You can go to BBC.
Yeah.
Next door there.
You call it BBC?
Yeah.
You guys ever been there?
Yeah, all the time.
All the time?
Yeah.
All right.
I think that would be a nice place for you to meet people.
All right. What's your name? Oh yeah, my name is Taran. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you there.
Yeah, you're enjoying your ice cream. What's your name? Okay, that's a beautiful name. That's a typical Bogota name, is it?
Yeah, it is.
You will find a lot of Valentinas.
I see. All right, it was very nice meeting you guys. And I'll let you enjoy the day.
You enjoy your day.
Yes, thanks.
Have a nice birthday.
Okay, so talk us through that one. So how did you?
I was like, okay, it seems hard to close it with any numbers. You were a little bit occupied with them each other.
So how did the conversation go then? Because obviously you went in indirect, right?
Yeah.
So what did you say? You asked about bars?
Yeah, any bars. And then I said like any bars with not too many tourists. I want to meet the local people.
Yeah, okay.
And then I kind of tried to ask like, okay, what's your name? And they said like, oh, my name is, and the other one was chewing her ice cream. And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna shake her hands. And then I was thinking, okay, they're not like super fine, that I'm gonna do more effort. But then it was like, it's nice opener, I think.
Well, you know, I mean, anything is good as far as practicing the social skills is concerned. Which one had the ice cream? Was it the one with the shorts on?
Yeah, the one with the red hair. I think she was the one. Both of them had one, but she was the one eating them.
Okay, right. So just one thing I would say is I wouldn't necessarily go from an indirect opener to what's your name. Necessarily. I would try to segue it with something else.
Okay.
So I would be like, hey, do you know some cool bars around here? And they start going, oh yeah, there's a place over there, there's a place over there, this place is really good. But like, okay, great, that's really cool. You're obviously local. It seems like you obviously know the city very well. I'm guessing you work here. She's like, yeah, we work for this local law firm over there. Oh, you're in law, are you? Oh no. You know, the lawyers are the worst, you know, because you guys, I know you work very hard, and then at night you like to party and you just go fucking crazy. I'm right, aren't I? You know, that kind of thing. So you want to lead it in, or I mean, that's a kind of cheesy example, but you want to find a different way to segue rather than what is your name, because then it seems a bit of a, oh, he was just asking because he wanted to hit on me. And it's kind of could come across a bit lame. You know what I'm saying?
It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too formal too.
Well, just to kind of obvious, you know, like what. When I go indirect, right, I'll go in and be like, hey, listen, so do you know some cool places to go around here? And I'm going to look at how she responds to that, okay? And if she responds well and favourably, and she's kind of smiling and there's a good vibe, then I might take it off somewhere else. I'm like, oh, you seem kind of cool, so tell me, you know, you're from here, or are you from a different city, or, you know, try and take it off in a different direction. Like you had before, if she just kind of shuts it down, then you're like, okay, fine, all right, see you later, you know? Yeah. So you make the decision based on her, or in that case, both of them, you know, what they're giving to you. And if something positive is coming back, then you try and spin it out into a bigger conversation, okay? But when you're doing that, like sometimes you can have a conversation with someone for 10 or 15 minutes before you even know their name, you know? Because you could be talking to them about music, you could be talking to them about nightlife, you could be talking to them about, you know, whatever, Colombia, travel, and then, oh, but do you know what? I haven't even got your name yet. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, anyway, that's just a little thought on that.
Yeah, it's a good brush up.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. No, man. I didn't do it. No, man, I bailed out. Troy, I chickened out on that trip.
Did you? Okay, not to worry. Well, you know, it's not easy, this stuff. That's the thing you've got to remember. It's not always easy, and sometimes we are just gonna, you know, we're just gonna say, oh, you know what? For whatever reason, I just can't do it this time. I'm not feeling it. And you've got to let yourself off the hook for that. You know, if you can do about 80% of when you see somebody who's attractive, if about 80% of the time you can get yourself to be like, right, I'm going to go and approach, I'm going to give it a go, that's good enough. Like, nobody's going to do 100%, and you shouldn't be hard on yourself. Sometimes we let them go. It's just how it is, man. But it's basically instilling the habit and the consistency that most of the time you see somebody you like, and you at least go in and say hello, or hey, I wanted to meet you, or you know, you just do something social to try and initiate a conversation and just test for her response. Just see how she comes, you know, see how she responds. Okay, because you never know until you go in. So.
Wait till she crosses, no?
Oh, well, yeah, I mean...
It's better than because the light turned green and then...
Well, what I would have done, she's standing there now, I would have gone, hey, listen, I just saw you look very nice, like side by side, and then see how she reacts, okay?
Okay.
But now we have to wait, and she's,
Yeah, fuck man, I probably blew that shit then.
Right, I would now go in front of her, like,
yeah.
Hey, listen, you look, just one second, you look very cute.
Yeah.
Hello.
And then? You look very cute, and then?
I wanted to meet you.
Okay. I wanted to see. You look so very cute. Yeah. And what's your name?
I'm waiting for someone, so I.
All right. So you don't want to be bothered.
Thank you.
Okay, that's great. Have a nice day.
Okay. So what happened? What happened then? What did she say?
No, she just said like, when she looked up on me, she said I'm waiting for someone, and then I'm just waiting, and then she looked down, and I was like, oh, okay. Have a nice day then.
Fine, okay. I mean, so probably what you're saying is you went in there and you felt like there wasn't much interest. Is basically what you're saying.
Zero iOS.
That's fine. If you genuinely feel like, right, there's no interest here, then okay, fine. Have a nice day, walk away.
Yeah.
If you feel like there might be a glimmer of something, which is just not being very forthcoming, then remember that it is incumbent upon us as guys and as the instigator of the interaction to pull something out of the conversation. So it's not enough to just be like, oh, hi, yeah, you're cute. I wanted to meet you. And she's like, hi.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I'm waiting for somebody. Like, all right, see you later. Like we've got to take the opportunity to try and pull something out. So like, oh, you know, so it's you know, like you're dressed very casually today. I thought most people around here worked, but it seems like you're not working. So you know, what's the deal? Are you like a student? Are you off work? You're on holiday or on vacation? Are you from Medellin? Are you from Cali? Are you from some interplanetary zone that I'm unaware of that's outside of this fucking universe? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got to fucking pull it. She's not going to sit there and do it for you for the most part. These girls aren't gonna help you, right? No. We need to instigate the conversation until we reach what they call the hook point, which is when she is giving something back. Then she's saying, oh, you're a handsome man dressed in black, you don't seem to be from Colombia, where are you from? Yeah. Right, now she's somewhat invested in the conversation, she's asked you a question, okay, and then we're good to go from there.
Yeah.
So,
but this was pretty like no, it's like no.
Yeah,
no.
fine, okay, all right, okay, fine. So if there's genuine, like, you genuinely feel no interest, okay, fine.
Yeah.
I'll duck out.
Oops. Oh man, thankfully.
Yeah. All right.
You missed. Because I'm just new in Bogota, and I was trying to like go to a good place which don't have many tourists. Do you know any like a local place where I can meet like the local people of Bogota?
Well, it's difficult here, but I think maybe Sonate.
Sonate.
The name is Sonate. Yes.
All right. What does that mean?
Yeah, it's a place nice, but low people.
Oh yeah, low people mean not that many people.
Yes.
Okay, I see. And whereabouts is that?
It's new here, maybe 10 minutes, I think.
10 minutes. And you call it Sonata?
Yeah.
I pronounce it correct, right?
What?
Yeah, I pronounce it correct. It's Sonata.
Sonate.
Sonate. Okay.
Yes.
T. Okay. Thanks.
So that looked like it was going pretty well. So how did you approach? What did you say at the beginning?
I told her like Bogota is very nice, but I haven't been here that many times, and if there's any good bar you would recommend to meet the locals. And then she said, yeah, there's one place called Sunata, something like that.
Okay.
And then she said, and then I said like, okay, I don't want to meet many like tourists. I want to meet the local people. Then she said, oh right, but go to this place. Then I said like, what does Sonata means? Try to
Okay,
get more into that. And she was said like, oh, it means, I couldn't quite hear what she said. She said it meant something.
Yeah.
And then she said like, it's in that direction. And then I saw her body language turning like this. And I was like, okay, shit. And I tried to draw her back in. And I was like, trying to change the conversation. But it didn't work out.
What did you go for when you were trying to change conversation?
No, I was trying to say like, have you been here for a long time? Or
Yeah. So I would go for that. I would try to personalize it to her rather than asking, oh, could you tell me more about the history of the city, or like why is this called something? I'd be like, oh, so you seem like you're a local, or you seem like I imagine you were born here, or I guess you're studying here, or you know, and then oh, so you're not from here. How long have you been here? Do you like it? Do you enjoy it? Right? You want to make it about her, because if you're asking for these more, firstly you're asking for directions, then you're asking why an area is called a certain name, for example. Yeah. It's like it's not very personal. It's not very sort of like, we want to be getting to, even from the beginning, you know, sort of getting to know her and trying to make this a personal. And when we open in direct as well, it's fine to go in and ask for directions and stuff, but then we want to be taking it like, right, okay, so how do we go from that to making this into a man to woman thing? So usually the way to do that is like, oh, okay, right. So and then focusing it on her. So we move away from the directions and where are the cool places to go, and then we're like, right, so tell me more about you though, because you seem to be from here. Do you like it? What do you think? Blah blah blah. All of that stuff, you know.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
But I think my indirect by saying like, oh, what bar do you recommend? It's not so good.
Well, you can use anything.
Yeah.
You could say, hey, listen, I just got to the city. I'm really keen to go out tonight. Where would you recommend? Where's a cool place to go?
Yeah.
And then just see how she responds. And if she's like, well, that, go there, and then she just walks off, okay, fine.
Yeah.
If she like suddenly starts reading off this long list of places and stuff, and say, oh, I can see you seem to be a party girl, so which of these is your favourite?
Yeah.
She says, well, this one. Why is that? Because they play reggaeton. It's like, oh, you like a bit of the reggaeton, do you? Let's see some moves then. Come on,
Yeah.
And you want to be making it. You want to be moving away from I'm a lost tourist asking for directions, and you want to be moving it towards right. This is man to woman, okay? And it's almost like, oh fuck, I didn't even notice before I came up, but actually you seem pretty cool. We should exchange numbers. We should go out sometime,
Yeah.
So you got to make that transition.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Book a call on the link below so we can help you map out exactly what you want in your dating life, the strategy, the vision, and we can help you get from A to B as quickly as possible, depending on what you want. That's the key thing. We've been doing this for 10 years. We work with thousands of dudes. We can save you your most valuable assets, which are your time, your attention, and your money, and get you from A to B as fast as possible. So book a free call, a free dating strategy consultation with us below.
Where is this train?
It looks like you're waiting for a bus or something. No?
No.
Okay, because you're having this helmet too.
Yeah, because my boyfriend comes here with me.
Oh yeah, I see. All right. What's the plan for the Saturday?
Saturday I play lacrosse, so I train.
All right. Cool. Yeah, it looks like you train, right?
Yeah, lacrosse.
Lacrosse, that means.
Lacrosse is similar on United States. I played. You have a stick and a ball and pass.
Okay. I see.
I play lacrosse of Colombia team. On Saturday or weekend, I with my coach.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm staying here in Bogota for a congress for the weekends, so I'm not gonna stay here for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah, but it'd be nice to meet you if you have the chance.
Okay,
Some other time.
Yeah, my Instagram is Andri.
Oh yeah, I don't have Instagram. I only have WhatsApp.
But WhatsApp is, in this moment, I don't have cell phone.
Oh,
Because
okay.
yesterday, I kept other person,
He kept your phone.
yeah.
Holy
I
shit!
don't have-
You don't even have a phone with you right now.
No, I stay. But Instagram, yes.
All right. Okay. That's cool. We could work with that, right? And how do I search your name?
Yeah. I'm here.
Oh, that's you. Yeah, it looks like you, right? Same
Yeah,
hairstyle.
lacrosse.
Yeah, cool. Colombia player, administration hotel. All right. Yeah, nice pictures too.
Thank you.
Cool. Yes, what I'll do, I'll message you and see if we can arrange something.
Yeah.
Right? It's very pretty, and I want to meet you.
Okay, nice to meet
All right.
you.
Cool, you.
Go, go.
Thanks.
Cool, man. Well done. That was good.
Yeah.
Number?
Yeah. She said like I don't have my phone with me. I lost it at my friend's place.
Right.
I said like, she's like, oh, take my Instagram. I said like, I don't use Insta. I want WhatsApp.
Great.
And then she said, I would give you WhatsApp if I had the phone, but it's on Insta. And then I said, all right, cool. Then I said like, I'm only gonna be, I'm with my friends. I don't have that much time, but hopefully, if I get time, I'll get back to you. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So why did you put that in afterwards?
Nah, that's like, oh, this guy's not busy, and I might have that asshole. I can call him anytime. If she knows that I'm a bit busy, I have my own life. She gets the impression that she's not the focus, right?
Right. Makes sense.
You don't? All right. Cool.
No joy?
No English.
No English. Okay, no worries. Do you ever, if you like them enough, do you get out the translate or you don't bother?
I have to pick up the translator if there's like just as you said, just want to say you look so pretty. I want to say hi to you.
Thank you.
Yes, just hold on a minute. Want to say something more?
Uh-huh.
So I want to tell you you're very beautiful, and just about that's why I want to meet you. And
And
then
she said,
so oh, okay. And she stopped for a second, and then she passed on, and tried to stop her again,
okay,
and then she kept on going on.
okay, no worries.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Hola, I'm in Bogota for first time,
Uh-huh.
so I'm gonna go tonight,
This place is really like for the night.
just for the night.
This place or the Parque 93 there.
And
It's
that is
really good.
what kind of place is that?
Oh no, this is first time for me here.
Oh, you
Also-
sound like a local.
Nah, I'm not local.
You know?
We're from Colombia, but not from Bogota.
Oh, I see. What's your name?
Valentina.
Valentina. And what's yours?
Salome.
That's cool. My name is Daran.
Cara.
Daran.
Cara. Cara.
Daran with an N.
Cara.
Yeah, his parents are from India. Yeah.
Your English sounds from India.
It does?
Yes.
All right. Yeah. But now I've been living all the time and then. Yeah. But since you're not from here, what are you doing here? Just on vacation?
Yeah, just visiting.
Oh yeah. This is your friend.
My cousin.
Your cousin. He doesn't look like. You look very
No?
different.
Yeah, a little bit maybe by the hair.
Oh yeah, I can see some resemblance, and also the eyes, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, now I can tell. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Now, what's your plans for the weekend?
No, we were leaving today, so
Oh yeah, you are. Okay.
but don't worry.
Yeah,
It's
but
nice to meet you.
want to pay you guys compliments and have a nice day, right? Cool. Hello, Star. I want to tell you girls that you look very beautiful. I'm not trying to.
So, it's still got to be the biggest thing for you is,
Yeah.
unleashing the no, not like unleashing the Robocop, caging being more, 20% more passionate and more conviction and more expressive of what you say.
Yeah.
Because remember, energy is the key.
Yeah.
So whatever energy you've got internally and you're putting off,
Yeah.
she's going to feel that energy. So at the moment, you've got very good chill energy, but it's too soft. It just needs to be a bit more passionate.
Yeah.
Remember, imagine you've just seen her for the first time. You've never approached a woman,
Yeah.
and this is your one shot. How are you going to go in? You're going to be like, hey, I had to say hello. You look great. Not, oh, hey. It's just a bit softly spoken. And in Norway, this is absolutely how people are, which is how you are.
Yeah.
But in Colombia, remember, people are a lot more fiery, a lot more passionate, a lot more.
Yeah.
So just up the volume.
Yeah.
Up the volume, up the passion, up the conviction. A bit like you were when you were running a train with David last time. Reinvigorate that energy.
Hey man, how
He's been doing
Oh,
well
good, man.
though. He's been doing less of the
I heard
Robocop.
you and David made love last night.
Yeah.
How much was?
Is that
Not with each other.
Did you do this? So when I was younger, I had a threesome with. I didn't get with my friend, but me and him spit roast to go, and it was really the awkward bit was, I was here and he was. We're both standing and
Yeah.
we made this weird eye contact and we don't know what to do. And it's like, who breaks eye contact first?
Yeah.
Was it like that?
No, I just try to avoid, man. I didn't.
So you're both fucking, but in the same bed, in the same bed.
And he was the other side of the bed. I was
And
the
you're
other
trying
side.
not to look
Yeah.
at what he's up to.
Yeah, man.
I'm not sure. I mean, I love David, but I'm not sure I really want to see him on the job. To be
No,
honest, I think I might lose my.
no, I'm not sure it would have put me off a bit.
I'm not. I don't think it would have improved the erotic.
Tarum, green,
Which one?
greeny,
Green.
one in green.
Hello, Senorita. I have to tell you, you look very beautiful. Want to stop you? I'm here for a medical conference. I'm going to stay for this weekend with my friends.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you? How is your weekend plans?
Well, I'm fine. Actually, tomorrow I'm gonna go to Paris with my boyfriend.
Oh, you are. Oh, you have a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah. You must be a lucky man.
Thank you.
Yeah, because you look so beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have a nice day then, right?
Same.
Cool. I'm just kidding with you, man. Like meeting Sylvester Stallone.
A little bit less roided up, but you know. So, James was saying, do you want some coke?
Yeah. You don't advise. You advise.
Do you?
I did it 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, if you want to do a little bit, you can.
Yeah.
But do you want to do it before the session or not really? Or I mean, I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, really.
No, but I don't think they can deliver it so fast.
No, but I've got something. I've got something is the point.
Yeah, fucking do it. Right
You want to?
Yeah.
All right, at your own risk.
Yeah.
All right, come on.
Yeah.
If you speak to James, I mean, there are good sides and there are bad sides, like anything,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah,
No, but the life I had like a couple of years ago, working 9 to 5, just having the weekend off, it's so fucking shit. Prison, right? Yeah.
but what are you doing now? 3 months on, 3 months off?
No, I told my contractors in Norway, right? Because I'd say that I'll work in a place where they don't have any doctors and they pay me pretty good salary. And I said, okay, I work there, shitty place, 3 months, you give me this amount. And I...
This one?
Hello.
It's a little bit abrupt, you know?
Yeah.
It's like when you sort of veer over and
Yeah, and she's
she's like, whoa.
I was like, what the fuck? I'm not gonna rob you. Not least at the first evening.
I feel like you've really like loosened up, you know, like you're more,
Yeah.
a bit more chill. Well,
My RoboCop, right?
yeah. But,
Half
yeah.
machine, half human, but all because I have that as a hazard of my profession too. Wasn't so serious in my everyday life, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's difficult. It really is difficult for people to break out of the day-to-day. You know, the day-to-day. Because when you think about it, your archetype as a doctor, you know, you've probably got a specific archetype that you're playing in that role.
All the time, yeah.
And then when we're out here, we're trying to, or wherever, you know, we're trying to then do something very different, and it's really hard.
It is.
But
Because it's here, like in this life with women, logic doesn't make sense if you have to be emotional. That's the
exactly,
thing, right?
exactly, and spike emotion in them, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, I'm probably not like you notice on these boot camps. A lot of these people are. There's a lot of like engineers, and there's a lot of you know, and I don't think my brain is that analytical. Like I'm still quite a creative person, but nevertheless.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, I was still somebody who was very much in my head the whole time.
Okay, now
So,
I know, man.
yeah, but it's just, I mean, look, I mean, obviously, you different relationships, you've got different parameters of what is acceptable, you know? So for her, she's got certain parameters, and then obviously the issue is then, and for me, either I'm going to proceed with that, or I you know, or I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but there's other women you'll meet, and
When I met you in Warsaw, in Poland, you said, "Oh, I had an Indian ex-girlfriend." That's the same one, right?
yeah,
Okay. Ah, man, you're in love.
yeah, man. Well, it's your women, man. I don't know. It's funny because do you think? Are you like Indian girls?
Not anymore. I used to. I had a relationship for many years, but they're just too possessive. And,
Do you think so?
Yeah. And their mindset is all, you know, it's just like the Western society, but screwed in a different manner. They're all feminists. It's just in.
Well, I mean, she's an interesting case study because she is, like I probably told you, but she was born in India. She lived in Dubai. She's lived in London.
Okay.
So it's kind of there's some different cultural influences there, you know.
Yeah.
There's a lot, maybe under the radar as well.
Yeah. Hell yeah. But I would say like the best women in the world are probably Indians. They won Miss World many years. That's considered 2001, 2003.
Really?
They're really pretty, but it's just like they're such in demand, and you have to like they have the caste system.
Yes.
So either if you don't have the cash and all the requirements, you're fucked up, right?
What caste are you?
I'm my mom is you know making furniture. What's that calling? Carpenter.
Yes.
And my dad's family is military, like police family.
Okay.
So I'm the only first doctor in the family.
Oh right. Okay.
Yeah.
She's a Brahmin.
Okay. Brahmin, it's a top. That's the highest class in caste.
Yes, apparently, which is you know, I mean,
And that's a problem as well, because obviously, you know, her parents would have certain expectations. I mean, I you know, I'm the kind of person maybe they'd want her to. Exactly. Good. Okay. So I mean, obviously we've done. This is the last session now of the 4 days, but you're staying here for quite a bit longer, aren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, how have you found Bogota in general as a place to date?
It's a very nice place to date. Here, compared like to the westernized women,
Yeah.
they're pretty social. You don't have
Pretty
to put on a front to be with women, right? You can be your masculine self.
So what happened? Talk me through last night, because I know the night before you had quite a, let's say, successful evening when you got to know some of the local ladies. But what happened yesterday? What happened last night?
Oh yeah, there was this Colombian chick,
Yeah.
and she was with my other client Teddy, and he was with two of them.
Okay.
And one of them, she said, okay, I like Taron, I like his pictures. And then I told Teddy it's not a good set because they're siblings. To game two sisters at one time, even if you're with a friend, it's hard.
It's the kind of thing they make adult movies about, isn't it? You know, but the reality of it is it's a little bit kind of possibly a bit weird for the girls, maybe.
Yeah, it is.
Could feel a bit weird.
Yeah. So in the end, David took back to the hotel room. He was my translator, and she was like, okay, and she shit testing me for probably 2 hours. Like, okay, how much do you make in a year? Where are you from?
Really? Was she from Colombia?
Colombia, yeah.
And she was asking you that?
Yeah, and it's like, do you really want maybe a Colombian wife?
Oh my God.
Yeah, and
so she was properly like vetting you then?
Yeah, and then so like, I made out with her. I said like, okay, Ken, we go back to my place. She said no, tomorrow maybe.
Yeah.
Like that, fine, okay.
So what's the plan then? Are you going to see her? Is that the one you might see tonight?
No, this is the other
different one.
Yeah, different one.
So are you the one when she said tomorrow maybe? Are you going to try and meet her?
Like, I'm not going to invest so much, right? If she do a shit test for you that long, 2 days.
So was David translating for 2 hours?
Yeah.
That's kind of.
Yeah, it was odd, man. But he's pretty honest with me. Like,
look at this, the man in white.
Yeah.
The man in white. Do you want to join us? We're just doing a quick little conversation. Oh, actually, no, it's fine because you're not in. Yeah. So it's kind of unusual that she tested you to that degree. I find that if that happens,
yeah,
it tends to be women who are being very. It's a bit transactional,
yeah,
isn't it?
Is,
you know?
Right. And I don't want to. That's not why I've traveled that far, right? To meet a girl who potentially she's a boyfriend. Who the fuck wants that, right?
It's very odd to be interviewing somebody like that, especially. I'm not being funny, but I mean, we're in Colombia. We're in the party district of Colombia. You probably met her in a club or something. It seems a strange, way to take it. Do you know how old she was?
19.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I suppose like in many of these cultures. I mean, probably perhaps Indian culture as well. But people get thinking about marriage and stuff. It's much younger,
yeah, right,
than in the West. I mean,
yeah, because that's when she put on a pitch shield when she either senses that this guy she's want to invest in, and that's not the position you want to be in. Not during day game, right? Then you just your game is just off then, right?
I mean, do you think, just playing devil's advocate, do you think that was there anything you could have done differently to prevent that? Do you think it was something about the vibe you were giving? You weren't giving off a provider vibe, were you, or anything like that? Do you think?
No, I think because there were so many dudes. It's Yorosh was there. It's me, Teddy, and two other. But David said, "Okay, you are the last dick standing."
What happened to the rest of them?
They all disappeared. They
all kind of went home. Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. Well, that's an interesting thing. I mean, obviously not ideal. So hopefully we've got another date tonight that you're going to be looking to go on.
Yeah.
I mean, any sort of main learnings would you say from the weekend, or things maybe that come a bit clearer?
There's Load of things learning, man. I've learned so much approaching, right? That's a key point, right? Just being social, not be into your head too much, right? And that's the point, right? Just giving good energy.
Absolutely, man. And you've loosened up a lot. I mean, because I think we were talking the other day. I mean, that's one of your things. You know, you were quite sort of robotic, maybe, or whatever, and you have loosened up a lot, which is great. And you can see the way people react to you. It starts to change. You know.
Yeah.
So good stuff. Well, look. Anyway, our colleague is here, so let's off into the breach.
All right, man.
Book a call on the link below so we can help you map out exactly what you want in your dating life, the strategy, the vision, and we can help you get from A to B as quickly as possible, depending on what you want. That's the key thing. We've been doing this for 10 years, we work with thousands of dudes. We can save you your most valuable assets, which are your time, your attention, and your money, and get you from A to B as fast as possible. So book a free call, a free dating strategy consultation with us below.
Hi. I want to tell you, you look so pretty. How to come and tell you? Okay. Great.
So what happened there?
Just a boy. That was his dude.
Oh, okay.
Boyfriend.
Okay.
You want to try to get the chill or something?
It would be unfortunate.
Yeah.
But look, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Tara and the man, the myth, the legend in Bogota, Colombia, setting up a day with. Where's this girl from?
She's from Bogota.
Oh, okay, yeah. She's blonde hair, right?
Yeah, blonde hair. Yeah, and she has some.
Well,
excessive some parts of her upper torso.
That's very delicately put.
Yeah.
So certain aspects of her anatomy were impressed you.
Yeah, and the
protruded.
thing is,
I mean, as a medical man, how would you, everything was in the right place?
Yeah, I would say in looks, it's 8.5 out of 10.
Okay.
She's 26 years old. But we have to always remember these women are afraid she's still gonna meet a stranger from nowhere.
Yeah, but come on, man. I mean, because people talk about the importance of comfort. You know, part of the model is there's attraction and then there's comfort, and she's got to feel comfortable and everything. But the reality is, you should be able to establish comfort very quickly because you present, well-dressed guy, obviously professional. You got your shit together. She shouldn't. You're meeting in a public place. You're meeting her in a bar, popular bar. Yeah. She shouldn't have any cause to not feel confident. And then, as long as in the first few minutes, you smile and you're welcoming and all the rest of it, she's gonna be fine. She's gonna feel fine.
Yeah, because this woman tried to say okay, meet at a shopping center, and I learned from Troy that always keep frame, tell, lead.
Well, there's a couple of things. Firstly, it seems odd. Why would she want to meet you in a shopping centre? I mean, maybe there's a restaurant, a cafe there, maybe, but it just doesn't seem great, seeing as there's so many great bars and places around here. Yeah. But secondly, as well, it was almost like she was grabbing the frame and saying, "Come and meet me here," which is not a good thing because as the guy, you should be the one who's sort of leading it. And thirdly, obviously, there is a small aspect of your own safety because you meet this girl, and you don't know her from Adam. And suddenly she's asking you to go to a different part of town. I mean, that's...
Yeah, she might spike my drinks, steal my kidney. I want to keep them both.
Oh, she can spare one, can't you, man? I mean, so, many lessons here, many lessons. But it's going to be interesting to see how the date progresses later. Yeah. I mean, you're looking good, you're looking ready for it, you're looking,
Yeah.
The Lothario look is in play.
Yeah.
I like that, you got the shirt, you got the rings, you got the, the black trousers. I mean, are they jeans, actually?
Yeah, these are jeans. No. I was debating to jump into a suit, go home. You think so?
No, I think you're good, man. I think you're good. Anyway.
Hola. How are you? Do you sell a perfume for men?
Only this.
You don't have a paper. No, it looks too sweet. It's like too female. Two women.
It is sweet.
Yeah, too sweet. So, what are you, two lovely ladies, doing on this weekend? You don't speak English? I doubt that. I think you know a little bit.
Yo pienso que ¿qué? I think what?
You know a little bit English.
Que yo pues I understand.
A little bit. All right. What's your name? You know what that means?
You know
What's the meaning of?
meaning?
Yeah.
What is meaning?
It means young woman.
Tell me.
It means
Ah.
young woman.
English is bad.
Worse than yours. English or who has the worst English?
Who was what?
Who has the best English?
Igual. Las dos es igual de mal.
Okay.
Igual de bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy.
Dime.
No, I'm just joking with you. But it was nice meeting you. It was nice. Hola, yeah, meeting you. Right? And have a nice evening. Have a nice evening.
I don't understand.
Oh yeah. Okay. Have a nice night. Have
¿Tienes?
a nice night.
Night, noche.
Evening. Yeah. It'd be like have a nice day, right?
Ah,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. Now you
thanks.
know. Okay. Cool.